Hello, I'm Father Bill Turner from St. Mary Church in Chelsea. The good news that we have begun Masses again in our parish has been sent out to various media outlets, and we want you to know how we want to make this as simple a process as possible. We've already begun weekday Masses, and we will start weekend Masses on the Feast of Pentecost, which is May 30th, May 31st. I want you to be clear on how we will function at the Mass so that we all may be safe in following the directives given to us by authorities. So here's how we're going to move forward. I ask everyone who comes to Mass to wear their face mask for the time being. I ask you to sanitize your hands before you come into church. If you do not have a face mask or a sanitizer, there is some at the church for those without. I ask you to sit in every other pew. The seating places are marked by white crosses where you will enter the pews. This means that there will be no one in front of you in the pew or behind you in the pew. So it respects certain social distancing. Families, of course, could stay together, but we ask you to be sensitive to those around you and leave a space between you and a non-family member who is in that pew. I ask you to stay in the pew for the entire Mass unless you have to leave for an emergency. I ask you to use your facilities at home before you come to church so that the washrooms will not be compromised, although in cases of emergency, they are there for you to use. As we're only allowed a limited number in the church, and certainly less than we're used to, we have opened the hall with live streaming there on a large screen and communion brought to participants at the end of the Mass as usual. Ushers will let you know as you come to the church doors whether the church is full for social distancing purposes and direct you to the parish hall. There will be no person-to-person contact, such as greeting each other with a handshake at the sign of peace, holding hands at the Our Father, or any situation where you would be compromised or feel uncomfortable. So I ask you to keep the comfortable social distancing as much as possible. This includes entering and leaving the church. You may want to keep away from others for your own safety, although we trust that people coming to Mass will not do so if they have any symptoms of cold or flu, let alone any symptoms of the virus itself. So we need to, in loving response, take care of others by our responsible actions. As you leave the church, ushers will dismiss you from the rear of the church forward. So please stay in your pews at the end of Mass until you are dismissed by the ushers, and keep, of course, that safe social distancing. Bulletins will be available as usual as you leave the church. These safety measures are to assure you that we are taking the pandemic very seriously, but we also take our faith very seriously as we gather to receive the Word in the Eucharist at all Masses at St. Mary in Chelsea. God bless you and keep you safe during this time of pandemic. And let us pray also for others around the world. Thank you also for your generous support to our parish as we continue, and keep the offices working, the ministries flourishing throughout this time. God bless you, and we hope to see you soon at Mass at St. Mary in Chelsea.